Coming up, we will update you on the biodiesel plant on the edge of a Pullman neighborhood.
And find out how much a WSU senior has to pay for their diploma. All this and more next on Murrow News 8.
Public Broadcasting Studios on the campus of Washington State University. This is Murrow News 8.
Good afternoon, I'm Luke Doughton.
And I'm Danny Flynn. Thanks for tuning in to Murrow News 8.
The Port of Whitman County is moving forward to help AgTech OS develop a biodiesel plant after meeting earlier this month to discuss the plan. The Whitman County Port is working on purchasing 200 acres of land where the plant could be located. This project will be both privately and publicly funded. The amount of funding is unknown.
A WSU student has gone viral on TikTok after posting about a hold on her diploma. Senior Katie Lane received an email from the university saying before she could receive her diploma, she had to pay the balance on her account, a grand total of 1 penny. A university spokesperson said that the school was working on fixing the issue and that no diplomas would be held for a 1-cent charge.
President Kirk Scholes visited the University of Nairobi in Kenya earlier this month to discuss a potential joint PhD program. Damian Alvarado has more on who this benefits.
The president's trip to Nairobi brings opportunity. It's another step in advancing a partnership and its goal in expanding student learning and global impact.
And for any student in the state of Washington or on the West Coast that says, I want to go somewhere where I can have a global impact, hopefully this is the kind of thing that says, boy, I'm interested in that, I want to learn more. That's why I'm going to come to WSU.
There are currently 7 faculty and 18 staff members who work in Nairobi, a system that is funded by grants from the National Institute of Health and Center for Disease Control. There's been a push from faculty and Schultz's goal to expand abroad ever since he took office. It presents a new opportunity for PhD students.
And the idea is, could you set up a program so that these same students could get essentially a PhD from Washington State University at the same time that they got their PhD from the University of Nairobi.
Stephen Kiyama said the program would be impactful. He thinks it would expand cultural values and give those who partake the best of both worlds.
This relationship we have with Washington State University is a transformative relationship.
Providing PhD students with opportunities to conduct research at both locations helps advance healthcare globally and makes students competitive candidates coming out of graduation.
I expect that the faculty and the students will take advantage of this relationship so that we can build the next generation.
Dr. Guy Palmer is the Creighton Chair and Senior Director of Global Health at Washington State. This is a project he has worked on since the Paul G. Allen School's formation. He hopes this program offers a new way to train students. He shared his thoughts on the impact in an interview. Palmer says, "What's done there protects people here. The program provides a different set of communities to work with. There's lessons learned in Kenya, and there are lessons learned in Washington State. Training people in places that are unique will really make a difference." As of right now, this is just the start for the PhD program. Schultz shared that both sides signed a commitment to work together, and logistics of how the selection process, requirements, and costs will be decided later.
30 years from now, somebody says, well, have you been as successful as you have? Why has your career gone this way? You can go back and say there were certain things I got at Washington State that made a difference in my ability to compete and do what I wanted to do.
Damian Alvarado, Murrow News 8.
WSU announces that President Kirk Schultz will retain oversight of athletics, and Athletic Director Pat Shunn will continue to work under him. On July 1st, WSU moved oversight of athletics to Pullman Chancellor Elizabeth Chilton, so Schultz could focus solely on guiding the 6-campus WSU system. In an interview with CougFan.com, Schultz says, "I have an opportunity to serve as the head of the Pac-12 board in a year, so I'm going to be resuming or continuing my role."
The house where 4 University of Idaho students were murdered is set to be demolished. Murrow News 8 reporter Nick Beck is live on the scene with more.
Thanks, guys. I'm here right now at the King Road house where the 4 University of Idaho students were murdered. As you can see, the windows and doors are boarded up right now, and that is because the university is planning to demolish this building. This is a healing step for the whole community as it gets rid of the physical structure where these crimes were committed. President Scott Green also came out and said that he plans on creating a memorial or flower garden to honor the victims and all University of Idaho students who may have died in the past. That's all I have here in Moscow. Sending it back to you guys at the desk.
Sheriff's body cam footage out of Orlando was released yesterday showing deputies detain the 19-year-old accused of shooting and killing 3 people. When Orlando PD got the suspected gunman, they say the gun was still hot in his pocket and no bullets remained in the clip. Victims included a 9-year-old girl, a 24-year-old news reporter, and a 38-year-old woman. The apprehended suspect has an extensive criminal history with at least 8 felonies and 11 misdemeanors, including possession of firearm by a minor and robbery with a deadly weapon.
A Moscow woman eluded law enforcement Wednesday by crossing the Washington border near the Sunset Mart on South Main Street. The woman failed to stop when officers attempted to pull her over for a traffic violation. They were forced to discontinue the chase at the border with the Washington state's ban on nearly all vehicular pursuits. Officers identified the driver and are seeking a warrant against the suspect for eluding reckless driving and driving without a license.
It's now been an entire year since Russia invaded the borders of its neighboring nation, Ukraine. So far, 100,000 Russians and 13,000 Ukrainian service personnel have lost their lives to the clutches of war. More than 7,000 Ukrainian civilians, including at least 400 children, have been killed due to the attacks. The Russian forces are firing about 20,000 rounds of artillery every day. There's currently no end in sight for these deadly engagements as the war drags on.
The Evangelical Lutheran Good Samaritan Society is selling 30% of their properties in the Moscow area, which include a nursing home, an assisted living center, and 2 independent living retirement communities. Cascadia Healthcare is the buyer and will be shifting operations from not-for-profit to for-profit. The deal for the sale is scheduled to close on March 1st, and prior to the sale, Good Samaritan was the second largest multi-state senior living organization in the U.S. This story will have a role in your city. Find out what course OREC is offering for students at WSU.
And ASWSU sat down with key university figures to discuss safety and health on campus. This and more coming up.
They took over my bedroom. Come on, come on. Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. Dad! You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
There. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Can I tell you another one? So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it. What's Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana. What is a boxer's favorite drink? Fruit punch.
WSU offers a multitude of recreational athletic opportunities for students, including kayak lessons. Our reporter Alfonso Valdivia has more information.
The Outdoor Recreational Center of Washington State University now offers kayak roll clinic sessions to everyone who would like to learn the basics of the C2C roll and get more comfortable in a kayak. On this introductory roll session course, one of the most important things to learn is to be present in the moment, to be conscious on your physical movements and the space around you.
In terms of a kayak, you're aware of what your shoulders are doing at the same time of what your hips are doing. And you're kind of making it all come together in unison to where you can hopefully, on the first try, roll yourself back over.
As you guys can see, I'm on a kayak right now. And in order to do the C2C roll and the swing roll, you need to have some certain core strength in you to have better stability. But hey, it's not impossible and it's fun.
And if you are curious to learn this technique and have never tried it, don't worry. You don't need to have any experience to attend this clinic.
This is a level 1 clinic. You don't need any prior knowledge on being in a kayak. You really only just need to know how to swim.
To sign up for their next clinic, go to the UREC Instagram page and click the link in bio. The cost is $8 and the only thing you need to bring is a swimsuit.
So our next roll clinic is going to be March 21st. Same time, 6:30 p.m. We'll meet at the Outdoor Recreation Center, get everyone together, get them fitted for life jacket, spray skirt, and then we'll head over here to Gib Pool and teach people hopefully how to get a couple rolls in.
This is Alfonso Valdivia in Pullman, Murrow, News 8.
ASWSU held their Senate meeting on Wednesday and hosted WSU Chancellor Elizabeth Chilton, along with other guests. The Senate members asked questions to Chilton and the other guests related to the student safety, emergency communications, and many more topics in which Chilton and the others addressed.
The Palouse Habitat for Humanity organization received over $5,000 in grant money. The Home Depot Foundation is donating the money to help pay for kitchen and cabinet renovations for a family home under construction in Moscow.
Coming up, a long-time annual food program that hits 2 birds with 1 stone. Our reporter Josie Godrich has the story.
The Whitman County Library and its 14 branches has officially begun its Food for Fights program, a program aimed to tackle food insecurity while paying off book debt.
We started in 1999. Originally, it started the first 2 weeks in December, and then in 2004, we moved it to February for a month long. What we request is non-perishable food, canned goods, boxed meals, something that's easy for prepping. Also, we are encouraging household goods, toiletry items, feminine needs, mixture of everything.
Non-perishable items such as toilet paper and brownie mix has all been donated to the Whitman County Libraries over the past years, accumulating over $19,000, and all of it is being given right back to its patrons in the community.
As you know, February with the weather, energy assistance, heat, the bills are higher. We would hear bills are going higher. We're getting more people coming into our food banks. We're needing more food to full our shelves. And we can forgive $10 of fines if that money just goes back to the bank. What's $10? It's feeding families. That's a good cause.
The Whitman County Library and its 14 branches will be accepting donations until the end of the month, and they encourage anyone to donate, regardless if they have book fines or not.
It's just for a good cause. What we usually say, get that dollar off your account for a good deed.
Reporting from Colfax, I'm Josie Goodrich, Murrow News 8.
The Idaho Food Bank will be giving out food to people on Monday starting at 10 a.m. until they run out of food products. The distribution will take place at the Latah County Fairgrounds. The boxes of food being handed out will include things like frozen meats, produce, and dairy products.
The newest quarterback coach for the Seattle Seahawks is Greg Olsen, who's had a long time coaching in the NFL, but actually got his start here at WSU as a graduate assistant. Olsen is a Washington native who's coached some generational talent at the quarterback position, including John Kitna, Derek Carr, and most notably Drew Brees during his time at Purdue. The hope is that Olsen can help Geno Smith continue last season's success.
After the break, we'll talk about the snow and how long it'll be around for.
Coming up next.
You're looking at me in the future. Okay. Hi, Isaac.
Hi.
Wait a second. Do you know who I am?
Julia.
This is Jaina. Into the future. I just wanted to talk to you about what happened with those two girls.
Oh, yeah?
Do you remember it was this girl that I was getting bullied by that one day at PE when they were like yelling at me, and then you just linked arms with me? I don't think you know how much like that helped me, because like I finally like knew that I had somebody. Because of you, Isaac, and what you did for me years ago, I grew up to be more independent and love myself and just be a little bit more confident.
Aw, I'm like a little tearing up right now. Just to see her in the future just blossom and look beautiful, and that was really amazing.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Hey guys, today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Give kisses. Give kisses. Look. Give kisses. Give kisses. You heard how loud that was.
I know,
sleep through that.
I heard. It wasn't you.
Yeah.
It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Bacon.
A huge winter storm hit numerous states across the U.S. According to the Associated Press, the storm includes heavy snowfalls, which also resulted in power outages and making traveling conditions difficult. The storm has affected states like Oregon, Wisconsin, and even states that don't get snow, like California.
And it seems like winter is still holding it down. Adon, any potential for sunnier skies?
Well, not apparently for right now. For today's weather, we got the lowest was at 14 and the highest was at 27 with an average of 20. Sunrise was at 6:35 and sunset is scheduled for 5:26 p.m. We also have winds gusting at 5 to 14 miles per hour coming from the east, and looking forward to tomorrow, we got a low of 26 and a high of 36 with an average of 31, and we have sunrise at 6:37 a.m. and sunset at 5:37 p.m. with winds gusting at 5 to 14 miles, 6 to 8 miles per hour coming from the southeast. And taking a look at the state map, we've got a high here in Pullman at 27, a high at 27 and a low of 14. Heading west to Spokane, we've got a high of 24 and a low of 12, and a low of 12. Okay, and going over to Tri-Cities, we got a high of 30 and a low of 15, and in Yakima, we got a high of 29 and a low of 14. Seattle has a weather of 38 and a low of 25, and Olympia has a weather at 40 and a low of 22. Looking over at the 5-day forecast. All right. That's all for me, and we'll send it to us.
One prediction, one for the first time I've already heard, and an inside look on Pullman High School's powerhouse team. Yes.
Days, months,
Hey, I'm Jim from across the street.
Years.
I'd like to give you this.
a lifetime can rush by without realizing what we're missing. But it doesn't have to be that way. We have a choice to take action. Visit maketheconnection.net to find out more.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it.
The women's basketball team has officially beat the Bruins at Pauley Pavilion. It took only 35 total games at UCLA, but Etheridge has led her squad to a win. 3 players on the Cougs had double-digit points, including Tara Wallach, who had a team high of 15 with 2 threes mixed in and 5 rebounds. Bella Murrigatete finished her 7th career double-double and 15 points and 10 rebounds, and Charlize Ledger-Walker finished with 12 points. The team is now headed to USC to face off against the Trojans tomorrow at noon. I've got some good news from Maples Pavilion at Stanford as well. The Cougs knocked off the Cardinal 67-63 for their 4th straight win. After a slow first half by TJ Bamba, Bamba scored 17 of his 22 points in the second half alone. He went 4 of 5 from behind the arc and had some ridiculous plays inside the paint. Future NBA player Mohamed Gay recorded 9 points and 8 rebounds by halftime alone. He would end up with his 12th double-double on the season with 15 points and 15 boards. Well, we've got to take it easy on these guys. It's not fair. DJ Rodman, with ice flowing through his veins, hit 2 free throws to put the Cougs up 67-63 with 14 seconds left on the clock. The Stanford Cardinal did not score in the final 3 minutes of the game, and now the Cougs are headed to Berkeley to face off against the 3-25 Golden Bears tomorrow at 2 p.m. I'm not too worried about Mark Fox's team whatsoever. The WSU cheer team is looking for back-to-back wins at the USA National Cheerleading Competition. Murrow News 8's reporter Sydney Berger has more on that.
The WSU cheer team is looking to earn another one of these, a national championship ring. Washington State is heading back to the USA National Cheerleading Competition in Anaheim, California, looking to secure first place for the 2nd year in a row. The team has been preparing for months and spent several hours in the gym rehearsing the 2-minute performance routine they plan to represent WSU with.
We started really putting it together in November, so I think that's why we feel so comfortable with it. We've been doing it for months now, so I think we're just ready.
Senior Alyssa Areta is confident the Cougs can bring another national championship back to WSU.
I think we've got it on lock. We trust each other enough. And yeah, we just want to have fun, hit, and make ourselves proud, make everyone proud, and make the school proud.
The Cougars will be competing in 3 categories, including a game day routine, performance, and partner stunt. Reporting in Pullman, I'm Sydney Berger, Murrow News 8.
I've got bad news, guys. The Cougar baseball team is no longer undefeated after the 10 a.m. game against UC Irvine this morning. After taking an early lead in the first inning from an RBI single off junior infielder Alan Shibley, scoring Jonah Advincula, UC Irvine would proceed to score 3 runs unanswered, and a home run from Will Bermudez in the bottom of the 8th inning sealed the win for UC Irvine 8-3. Pullman High School boys basketball is an undefeated powerhouse looking to take home hardware from the state tournament. Reporter Xander Adams has more on that story.
Greg Brantner has been boys basketball coach at Pullman High School since 2006, a year where the Greyhounds finished the season 13-9. A couple state championships and a handful of deep playoff runs later, Coach Brantner's got the most dominant team he's ever coached.
If we're doing our fundamental sound and fundamental principles, get through whatever we see and still be solid.
Following a perfect season, Pullman sits at 22-0 and is ranked number 1 in the 2A classification. They're angling for redemption in the biggest game of the year. Last season, they bulldozed through the Yakima Sundome to meet Linden in the final round, eventually losing by 17.
We had a great summer, played some big teams and beat teams that in the 3A or 4A that, they were saying we're going to be title contenders.
Their sights were set on the chip before this season started.
I think a state championship was an expectation, and I think you could tell that just from our first fall ball tournament. Anything like that before the season, it was strictly business.
What helped Pullman step to the next level was the development of their key players in Pewaukee, Barber, and Sykes, but most notably, MVP Jaden Brown.
Among Brown's accolades are back-to-back league MVP titles, 2 years straight of breaking Pullman's single-season three-point record, and Scorebook Live National Player of the Week. He credits hard work and his dad's guidance for being the player he is today.
Definitely hard work, but also, I mean, my dad just pushed me a lot and almost to breaking points. I love basketball, so I'm always going to stick with it, but I definitely credit a lot to him. I mean, he knows my game probably better than I do.
Pullman enters the state tournament as the first seed and meets R.A. Long at West Valley High in Spokane on Saturday for the opening round, with the winner going straight to the quarterfinals in Yakima and the loser fighting through the round of 12.
I think we can take anyone on. I mean, hopefully to come back this year and capitalize and play better and hopefully win a state championship.
Reporting in Pullman, I'm Xander Adams, Murrow News 8.
Find out what national day we are celebrating today.
Coming up next on Murrow.
Days, months,
Hey, I'm Jim from across the street.
Years.
I want to give you this.
a lifetime can rush by without realizing what we're missing. But it doesn't have to be that way. We have a choice to take action. Visit MakeTheConnection.net to find out more.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it.
National Tortilla Chip Day is today. We celebrate a crunchy chip that gives us a variety of ways to enjoy it. The day also shares the chip's history and many ways to enjoy this delicious snack food. What do you guys think of it?
I personally love tortilla chips with a little pico de gallo, maybe some Doritos too, and often unspoken tortilla chip. What about you? Cool Ranch, by the way, through and through.
I'm a
That's the best
spicy
flavor.
nacho guy myself.
That's a good one
I don't know
too.
if you guys can read this, but just Cool Ranch is psychotic. And that's all I'm going to say on that.
Wow. Wish I got a rebuke, but...
Well, thank you for watching. If you missed anything in this or even always watch us on there.
And more news can be found at nwtv.org/MMA. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.